What's up, guys? How we doing? We're just getting ready right now. Go. Hey, James, how you doing?
Okay, buddy. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Just getting a few things together here, and then we'll get started.
Let's see how the frame looks. Oh, cool. Okay.
Nice.
Spin it around. Let me see what it looks like. Perfect. Okay. I got my son being audio or camera.
Awesome.
That way I can use my hands and not have to screw with the camera.
Of course, Liza Ann's the first one in here.
Hey, Eliza. Hey, people, how we doing? James, I'll be right back.
Okay. Let's see how it looks. Perfect. Okay, it looks good.
Good dance for us, James.
Huh?
Good dance for us, James.
Hi, Eliza. You're sideways.
Right. All right. Hey, everybody, how we doing? All right.
I am.
All right. James, so our special guest, I guess YouTube only allows one guest at a time.
Well,
on the
that's
live.
hogwash.
It is hogwash. So we'll rotate our special guest in for like I don't know, like a few minutes to talk about
Sure. Why don't you bring him? Are you going to bring him on first?
It's our. You know what? You and I will get started, and then we'll do an intermission with Bill, your builds. Is that all right? Let me see if I can actually rotate this. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit better. Oh, James, you there? Sorry, guys, we're just getting all set up for you. Do you guys hear an echo right now? A little sound check. All right, here we go. Okay, cool. Okay. Here, let me add James back in. Could have been on James's end, but Mike.
There we go.
Hearing's good. Okay. Awesome. All right. All right, my man. So we'll get started. And then what we can do is I'll go over a couple of the foggers that I have, and then we'll bring in Bill, and then we'll get you on.
Okay. Turn this to you.
All right. All right. Welcome, guys. This is a live session between the DIY
Can you see me in there? I'm doing great. Awesome.
The fogger based upon your YouTube video with Bill. So what I did was I created something that was a little bit more simple for one or two enclosures. The inspiration actually behind this came from a fogger that was even simpler than the one that James had initially created with Bill. The inspiration came from, I'll just kind of bring it over. It was a $40 fogger off of Amazon, kind of like one of these guys. And I made a video about how to make a cheap fogging system using just a couple PVC pipes and the fogger right here. And it got a lot of traction, a lot of people asking questions. And really it's simple, and it has a lot of flaws and challenges with that type of fogging system. And so James reached out and he wanted to do something together as a collaboration. And it was a perfect time to do this because we can also talk about fogging systems that are more well suited just for like the beginning keeper, as well as somebody that's breeding on a more industrial level. So the one that I created, and James, you can kind of walk through some of the pieces maybe here, was something that kind of looked like this on the top that was connected to a bucket like this. So what do we got here, James?
Let me spin around here.
Okay.
Hey. Yeah. So that's pretty close to the original one that I came up with a couple of 100 years back, it feels like. But yeah, that's exactly the system. We used a sink drain as opposed to, or I'm sorry, a shower drain in the beginning, so that you were able to poke a hole through it, and then it had a rubber gasket, and then you were able to add a 2-inch an adapter to it to run it up to your cage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so what we had was the fan, and then you placed, well, this was the exhaust system, right?
Correct. That's
okay.
The waterproof fan that blows into the bucket to create the to push the fog out through the inlet tube, outlet tube.
So the top of this would sit on the bucket like so, right? And you have this filled with water, but the piece that we're missing in here is the piece that creates the fog. So what would that be? What is that called?
So that's a transducer.
Okay.
And it comes with a little float and an ionic vibrator. And basically what that does is that vibrates so drastically that it turns liquid water into fog. It aspirates the water and turns it into fog. So, and that system right there is the single head, and they have several different sizes. But that's the float. What the float does is it allows that fogger to sit just below the surface of the water, so that it has enough room to create the fogging or the aspiration aspect of it, but it's not too deep to where you lose it in the depth of the water. So that float will go up and down with your water level.
Yeah, because you don't want it to overflow. That could cause some issues there for your fogging system, right?
Correct. Well, once it gets too deep, you won't get any fog. It has to be within about an inch or two below the surface to be able to have the fog to expel.
Yeah, and so this was something that I think it was your first original design that I used to create the fogging system for my 2 enclosures that I have. And so what was attached to the bucket and the fogger was this tube right here.
Yep. So we took some spa tubing and gave ourselves some angle to it, and then made a sheep's foot for the top of it. And we were able to hook that on the top of the cage. And and that's how it was able to disperse your fog. There you go. You got so it had a threaded end, 2 threaded ends, or
so you put it in there on the bottom there.
Yeah.
Kind of wedge it in.
Yes, sir.
And so I had this, and what I did was, because I had 2 enclosures, I put a T on top of that. And so I created really just 2 of these
heads,
kind of almost like shower heads, but for the fogger.
Correct.
And so So the enclosures, you know, they sit side by side. So there's another piece here, and you know, I'm able to fog both of my.
Right. Want to see something crazy? The original Fog Father. We'll get you one. Yeah, I'm going to show you. Not only am I going to show you the different fogger systems themselves, but we're going to actually build one.
Awesome. All right, let's get to it. Let me see if I.
Out. I'm totally delayed on TV.
Oh yeah. I can just leave it.
Just don't even touch it. Just let it be its thing.
Well, I think you're still live. That's my point.
No, I'm not. I don't think so.
No, you are.
That's delayed, son. It already happened.
That doesn't matter. We're still
No, he's not moving.
no, he's not moving up there either.
He's not?
No. We are.
No, he's fine. Oh, we are live?
Yeah. Yeah, we are. Yeah.
Oh.
Now it's just us. Wow. Now it's just us.
What's it say right there? The person that was talking. Okay, let's...
He said, Tyler, you're glitching. You're gonna change your phone. Working on it now. No worries. Just gonna watch the phone.
Mm-hmm. It's not freaking coming up.
Switch accounts.
Huh? Set you back up in the eye. It's not freaking coming up. No. We're live here.
Yeah, we're live still. He's working on it right
now. Technical difficulties. Trying to get it to come up. Technical difficulties. It's delayed. You find it?
I'm working on it. Oh shit, hopefully it works.
It's delayed. You find it?
I set up a kid account so that way you can watch it through that in your account.
Okay.
And then you can start explaining.
Okay.
Set up a kid account so
As you all know, I'm not really good with doing the camera and stuff at the same time, so we're doing our best. As you all know,
All right. Can you guys hear me?
He's back.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. All right. Sorry, guys. I don't know what happened there, but all right, James, I'm going to have to remove you and then add on Bill. Thanks for
Okay.
dancing.
You're welcome.
All right. All right. Sorry, guys, about that. Thank you very much. And now we are ready for our special guest. All right.
What the heck?
Oh, there he is.
I'm
The one and
trying to mute my side. There we go. All right. Hello, everybody.
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
I'm doing great, and I want to
Good.
say, just to celebrate everybody. You know what's coming. You know what's coming.
Let's see. Let's see. What is it?
The releasing
Oh,
of the fog.
there it is. Nothing more beautiful.
Yes.
Reminds you of back in high school in your mom's minivan. So,
So
Bill, thank you
yeah,
for joining us today to talk about fogging.
yeah. So what's up? What can we say about fogging?
Well, there's a lot to be said. So there are some people that worry about fogging. They believe it's going to be causing respiratory issues. There's no benefit, but there is a benefit, and there also is some dangers posed as well if done incorrectly. So I figured, why not have you on? No one better than you to talk about fogging. So maybe we talk
Okay.
about the benefits first.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead and we'll just give a whole a summary of fogging. Obviously, we could do a couple of episodes on fogging, but we're going to. I'm just going to do real briefly. So,
Yep.
first of all, why do we need fogging at all?
Mhm.
And the reason is because just misting hydration, which we've done for decades,
Mhm.
wasn't doing it. We made it work by giving them more and more misting, but the rumor chameleons
Mhm.
are always thirsty.
Yep.
Well, they're not supposed to always be thirsty, and so we've always been looking for what's the solution to this, because this
Yep.
isn't normal. So this is why when I started fogging, it just really solved a lot of problems. So we're not introducing fogging into the husbandry mix just
Yep.
because we're bored. It's because
Mhm.
there was a problem that needed to be solved. And the thing that happened is when we fogged overnight,
Mhm.
the chameleons weren't desperate for water.
Yep.
And so that's why we said, okay, we've got to figure out fogging. And
Mhm.
like anything else, it is just a husbandry technique, and so we are figuring it out. I
Mhm.
started the fogging, I think, in 2018, and gosh, I was about to say, so it's not been long, but my goodness, that's been that's been 8 years.
Yeah.
So, but we've come a long ways. And so, I basically what fogging is
Mhm.
it's water suspended in the air, which is
Mhm.
different than humidity. So, humidity and fogging, totally different things. Now,
Mhm.
fogging does increase humidity, but humidity is actually water vapor in the
Mhm.
air. And as far as hydration, it keeps you from being dehydrated from exhaling. Fogging,
Mhm.
I it actually does hydrate positively through breathing and being absorbed through the lungs. And I know that is counterintuitive.
Mhm.
Believe me, I feel your pain in trying to
Yep.
understand this. Uh,
Yes.
and I've spent years trying to, all right, number one, make it make sense to me. But the reason why we're going through this is because the evidence is there. And if you're doubting it, you just have to try it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the proof is there. The chameleons are hydrated through fogging, and now we just got to understand. I got to understand how to explain this because I do Chameleon Academy. Um,
So I
so
do have actually a question on that.
yeah,
And this is actually going to be, I don't want to, all right. It might be quantitative and it may be both anecdotal at the same time. So
okay,
I know we're not recreating exactly what nature is. We're in an enclosed system, and nature is vast. Many micro biomes within a biome itself. However, what is some of your anecdotal field evidence or field data that you've gathered when going to Madagascar? Because I know you've taken a couple trips, and
yeah.
so does this relate to anything that you've seen in the field? And are we trying to replicate that, or are we not?
This does replicate. I do see you can be in Madagascar and a fog bank will come in. You sit in Ranamafana and about at 1 a.m., 2 a.m.,
Hmm.
forget using your flash because it's coming right back at you. The fog is
Yep.
so thick.
Wow.
But we do also have, so it is a natural condition,
Hmm.
but we do have to get away from the idea. I know there was something going on saying, but that doesn't happen every night. You're
Yep.
right. It doesn't happen every night and it doesn't happen every season.
Yep.
But within our husbandry, we essentially flatten the entire year out. You look at a
Yep.
care guide
Hmm.
and it has one set of parameters. We essentially take the best of everything and we
Yep.
put it into one day.
Yep.
So that you get one set of conditions. So that's what we do in our care guides. Okay. So some of my care guides are a little bit more complicated. They have a wet season and a dry season. Okay. So
Hmm.
now I put two conditions, 6 months each. So
Yep.
really what we're doing is we're taking the best of the husbandry and trying to create a perfect day.
Hmm.
And fogging, it does happen in Madagascar.
Hmm.
And I mean, it is thick, uh, but the most powerful argument for it is that it works in captivity.
Okay.
Originally, I called it naturalistic hydration
Hmm.
to, and that has been attached to fogging. But really, what the idea of naturalistic hydration was that humidity goes up at night
Hmm.
and down during the day.
Hmm.
And that was the big problem in our husbandry for decades. We
Hmm.
ignored nighttime and we kept them in screen cages. And so, air conditioning, screen cages, nothing at night. This is a recipe for dehydration, and that's what we were seeing.
Yep.
So, by bringing in the fogging, we found we can do it every night, and it does hydrate them every day or reliably.
So I want to go back to something that you said. So the misting, like using a mist king system, you're
Yeah,
going to get that mist on the leaves, but you said that chameleons actually are able to breathe in some
yeah.
of that water and become hydrated through that way. So would you be able to explain a little bit more how that happens?
All right. Well, the lungs do absorb stuff from the
Hmm.
air. That's
Yep.
vaporizer. So it's known to medical science. This isn't something that we discovered.
Yep.
So this is well known.
Hmm.
As and basically what it is the lungs do absorb things from the air, whether it be
Yep.
medicine or hydration. Now we have to understand our tool here.
Yeah.
Very slow hydration. This is not
Hmm.
efficient hydration. That's why we have to do it all night. Misting is
Hmm.
very effective. Liquid water
Yep.
into the system. That's why, if you look at any of my care guides, I have misters and foggers working together.
Yep.
This is, I don't like to rely on just a fogger, even
Hmm.
though, as you've heard, we've proven that you can hydrate a chameleon by using only fogging overnight.
Yep.
Just because we've proved it doesn't mean that that's how I want to do it. I like to have backups. By having the mister there, you're really giving them water, liquid water, breathing water. And our goal is a hydrated chameleon. It's not to be stuck on one method.
Yeah. So what would be some of the dangers? So you have this system, you have this fogging system, you're getting the benefits. However, what are some of the dangers that could come from doing this inappropriately?
So this has been a challenge because you don't know a husbandry technique until you know how to screw it up and do it wrong.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
Luckily, it's actually we've had kind of hard times messing up fogging, so it isn't as sensitive of a hydration technique as one would think it would be. So the basic keeping it clean is the same for all anything anytime you deal with water, keep it clean. So anything you're running through the ultrasonic humidifier, ultrasonic disc is going to get into the air and get into the lungs. Now, what actually survives that process and would infect the chameleon, say bacteria, something? The thing is, we really haven't
Yep.
seen that happen, and so I'm not saying it won't happen. You have a dirty misting system, and eventually your chameleon's going to get sick. Same with a fogger. But the best, the biggest danger, I would say, is the way that
Yep.
we put fog into the system. In nature,
Okay.
fog envelops and it just kind of appears. In our forced air systems, we've got this cone of fog coming out. So, number one, it kind of freaks chameleons out when they see that. That's not what they're used to.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
also, that's a draft. Um,
Mhm.
that doesn't mean it's going to make your chameleon sick, but it is a draft and it could. And Dr. Michael Nash uh, shared an example of when he believes that the cone of fog killed a baby because it was just too much. So
Yep.
we have to come to terms with our delivery mechanism is part of the entire husbandry, and we have to account for that. And I know
Yep.
you can't see up there, but my fogger
No.
is my fogger is going into the
Somewhere in there.
plane. So if you see, you will
Really?
see a
Okay.
pothos here. And so, well, you know what? I can
Yeah.
open this. And you can see.
So you have the hose connected through the top into the plant? Oh
Well,
yeah.
it's
Okay. So
coming
it's just coming
from
out
the
onto the
top,
top there.
and the thing is
Oh,
going into the
nice.
plant. And then the
Yeah.
plant dissipates it,
Okay.
so it becomes a cloud in the cage. And so it's not just this one cone coming in. Now, this
Yeah.
is a big problem with screen cages, is because they dissipate and it dissipates very quickly, and so the only effective area is within the cone, and your chameleon will look for that effective area. Anybody with a
Yep.
screen cage putting a fogger up there and have that stream of fog, you will notice within a day or two the chameleon sleeps where that stream of fog is, because even if you fog at night, somehow they know where that was and they are attracted to that high humidity evening and night.
Yeah.
So
No, that's perfect.
that
And so that's what you want could be the draft or something that causes a respiratory infection.
I don't want
Or
my
is it not?
chameleon. I don't want my chameleon to have that cone and choose that cone, because they're going to choose the high
Okay.
humidity area. And if I
Yep.
dissipate it, there's no high humidity area that they're going to go to and be in the
Okay.
draft. With
Okay.
this system, I mean, when the door's closed, uh, my
Yep.
chameleon can be anywhere in the cage, and the fog is just going to envelop them.
Okay.
And there's actually a
And
baby
also,
Johnson's
if
chameleon in there somewhere.
really
Yeah,
somewhere in there,
somewhere.
If there's anybody in the chat that has questions, I'll take some of those questions right now. I have the chat here next to me, so if you have any for Bill, you can put them in there, and I'll ask away. Bill, I actually have one. How often do you clean your fogging system?
Okay, there is the answer that I need to give as a responsible educator, and there is the answer of me just telling you as an honest guest, just hanging out here, not worrying about being quoted back to me. So,
Yep.
I would recommend cleaning it out once a week. I end up doing it every 2, 3, sometimes 4 weeks. And I am going to say that only to say that cleaning it out every week is you're not on the edge of, oh, okay, if I miss a day, my chameleon's going to die. And so doing it every week is okay, is the recommended, but you, it's not going to be a disaster if it goes a little bit further. Now, for me to say that, I also want to say you need to know your particular situation. There have been people who have reported that they get a weird film and a weird biofilm and stuff like that. If you're in a situation where you get that, well, you're gonna have to do it maybe a couple of times a week. So you have to be aware of your situation. Me here in dry California, it's not with whatever equipment I'm using, it's not that bad. And Nate is asking,
I do have a couple questions.
what does cleaning out a fogger actually mean? I use a vinegar solution, and I take the fogger apart, and I run a little bit of vinegar through the system and clean out the uh, the disc and any area, and that's what I do, and it's worked so far. So much of what we've done is anecdotal. So has it worked? Yeah, it's worked. Has it says something gone wrong? Not yet. Okay, well, we'll wait till something goes wrong. And so this isn't to say that we have figured everything out. This is in progress. This is a husbandry technique in progress. And so I want to hear your experiences. If you figured out a way for this to actually be dangerous for your chameleon, let me know. Because once again, I need to know the limits of every single husbandry technique. Everything we do can be too little or too much. UVB, too little. MBD, too much. Skin cancer. So everything has limits, and we haven't really mapped out the limits of the fogging yet.
Yeah, I feel like that's reptile keeping in general. It's like playing a fine balance. Don't want to go overboard. Don't want to do too little. It's this. We don't have all the data there.
Annette, I do clean the tubing as well. Yeah, she's asking if I clean or soak the tubing as well, and I do. I run a solution through that.
Yeah, I'll bring mine out back and put the vinegar solution, and then take the hose and just flush it.
Yeah, and that works. And so fogging is a great husbandry technique. It has solved a real problem that we had. And so I'm very glad that we were able to figure that out. We just have to figure out how to implement fogging reliably, and it seems pretty simple. Now,
And so far, no issues yet.
Now, the biggest problem that we have in fogging is the equipment. And so, like right now, I've got this Amazon fogger that I got off of Amazon, and every now and then it'll just start leaking. And so the quality of foggers is really lacking. And Tyler, I don't. What we need is the ability to build a more robust fogger, and in fact, I don't even know that it's worth continuing on this until somebody figures out how to do a better fogger. Tell you.
You know, I feel like I got a guy out there. I
What?
think, you know,
What?
I think I know a guy. I think I know him.
Now that would be
His name's
amazing.
something James. They call him the Fog Father.
Well, you know
I
what?
think we got to get him on.
You know what? That's a good resume
we
right
should get him
there.
on.
So if we could, but this is a serious, if what we need is a better fogger, and the ones we get commercially, I do like the Exoterra fogger. They came out with they call it a humidifier,
Yep.
but it is a fogger. I do like that one. It's a lot better than the ones we've been using off of Amazon. But you know,
Yep.
if somebody came up with a design of how we could make a reliable and functional fogger, I'd love to hear from that person.
You know what? I'm gonna have to kick you off, and I'm gonna get a guy on that is gonna give us that answer.
What? You know what? It would be worth
Yeah.
going back into the audience if I could see that guy make that design and tell me how to do it.
The Illuminati was ringing on my phone and said, "Hey, I got a guy for you."
Oh, that Illuminati, I tell you.
You know what? Yep.
All right, then.
All right, Bill. I appreciate your time.
I'm going into the chat. Let's see what you got.
Sounds good. I'll see you soon. Bye. All right. We did have a question from Nate. He was asking if I do fog up my other reptile species, and I do actually fog my Dumbara. I only have the fogging system set up to a few enclosures, but I don't see any harm with them. I haven't had any respiratory issues. The fog has definitely helped plant growth. And I can say, like, from a shedding standpoint, I haven't had any issues with any of the Dumbara shedding. So it has helped. All right, let's see if we can get James in here. Let's see. Try to get James back in. Thank you, everybody, for coming today, by the way, while we wait for James. Here, James, if you are out there, my man, let me know if you need the link sent to you again. Zoe's in the chat. Carney Exotics, that's a good idea. All right, the man, the myth, the legend, the one that's going to help us to this issue, this problem about having a efficient fogger. This issue. What we got, James?
Yes, how you
What we got, James?
Oh,
is it just
I can't fully. It's in the call.
Okay, well, I'm, learning technical difficulties. I'm a little delayed, but we'll try to make it all work. Got the volume off?
All good. You sound good here.
So, yeah.
Any echo now?
I'm not centered in the frame.
Okay.
Center me.
There you go.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Well, I build foggers and I build cages, but I don't do technical stuff. So we're just going to have to wing it here a little bit. But anyway, what we got is I'm going to show you. First of all, I'm going to show you some of the systems that you can buy through House of Hydro. I've had commercial foggers. We've been doing commercial foggers for a while, and I just got sick and tired of them. And I found this place called House of Hydro, and it was their systems were set up for doing mushrooms and greenhouses. And so I got a wild hair up my butt one day, and I decided to take a bucket and make a fogger that I could stick underneath my cage. And that's kind of how it all started. Now, I I've been doing fogging also for a long time. But when I found these products, I kind of just elaborated on it, and I've developed them so that we can use them for our chameleons or for other reptiles too. So let's take a look at some of the stuff we got. I think I'm delayed.
Awesome, James. Oh,
Are you there?
sorry, I lost you on that last.
Which one's quicker?
I don't know.
I'm learning how to use this. Which one's quicker?
I don't know.
All
This one's
good.
quicker. This one.
I'm learning how to use.
I can hear you now.
Okay, great. So what I have over here is kind of a setup of, I can't. Can you see me, James?
Mm-hmm.
Different size foggers, misting heads that you can get through House of Hydro. And then what I've done is I've set up a couple of different systems that we can set up, and then we'll go over here and we'll actually build one really quick for you. Okay. So the first one we have is the one that most people will probably end up using, and this is the single head diffuser. This works great with a bucket fogger. It works great for one single system. And you can put this in a small container, and it's fairly inexpensive. These are about $19 to $20. Is it 19? No, these are $29 on House of Hydro. Okay. And this system really doesn't take a lot to do it.
Do you recommend that for one enclosure or multiple?
I would use this for
that
a
size
enclosure. You could probably get away with two, but I would just use this for a single enclosure.
Okay.
Okay, and then if you want to upgrade to getting multiple enclosures, this will do about 3 or 4, and this is a 3-head. As you can see, they all come with a float and the transducer, and then they have a power supply. And this is an actual 3-head, so this puts out quite a bit more fog. This right here, I would use for 2 or 3, maybe even 4 enclosures. And this is a good size. I also like to use this size for my 4x4 enclosures.
Okay. And what do you have that? So like the other one's in a 5-gallon bucket. Do you have that larger one in a 5-gallon bucket as well, or something like a larger water reservoir?
I have in the past, but it's the bucket is really good for one enclosure. I think in a single and transducer, and then I think I would try to upgrade at that point. And then you have this bad Mamma Jamma, which is a 5-head.
Oh wow!
Now this guy puts out some serious fog. You can fog an entire room in about 10 minutes. This thing is incredible. And this is great for multiple cages. I can do up to 6 or 7 cages with this guy. Of course, they sell 2 more sizes, a 9 and a 12-head fogger, but a 12-head fogger, you're gonna do a very large not terrarium. Anyway, a very large building there, with this, Yep.
So what size reservoir would you recommend for something of that size? Because that's gonna use a lot of water quickly.
So I would use your typical Home Depot bucket. Man, why am I losing words today? Your typical,
all good. Is it the 5-gallon?
I would use a 27-gallon for that, and I have used them before. So, some of my older enclosures, until I started streamlining these systems, I would just use those Home Depot bins that you buy, the 10, 12, and 27-gallon units. So
So what were those? What were some of the ways that you streamlined the system?
Well, I came up with with these guys. These are bins that they sell at Home Depot too. And
Yep.
what I really like about them is they seal. They have a rubber gasket.
Yeah.
And you're able to drill holes in it, no problem.
Yep.
But they with the Home Depot bins, they're just kind of flimsy. These guys are really
They are
solid.
actually.
And
Yep.
and they're super easy to build. And then they seal really nice. So these are what I'm using now constantly. And this is what we're going to make.
Yeah, you can kind of see on this one here, it's already starting to kind of
they fail.
break apart.
But,
Yeah.
I've had some of those bucket foggers last me 5 years.
Oh no, it's still working great. But in terms of the streamline, this when you're trying to open up that Home Depot bucket, it can be a pain in the butt, especially when it's latched on there. But something like this,
Exactly.
all you have to do is just unclip those hinges and you're good.
Well,
saves you a lot of time.
Actually, I came up with a way of solving that problem too. Now we don't even have to open it.
Mm-hmm.
I found these rubber grommets.
Oh, that's smart right there.
And we've drilled a hole in the top of it.
Yep.
And you just stick that rubber grommet back in there and it seals tight.
Oh, that's nice. That's how you fill.
You want to fill it up, you just pull your rubber grommet,
Yep.
pour your water into it, close it back up.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that you need to remember
nice.
with these foggers too is that you need to make sure you leave a little bit of volume inside of the fogger itself to create the fog. So I generally try to fill them up about a third of the way, or leave them about a third of the way from the top. That way I'm able to capture all of the fog before it gets blown out. Another trick that I've learned. Now I've set my systems up because we're doing these for multiple foggers. So what I've done with these systems is I've actually added 1/4-inch tubing float valves inside of them. This gives me the opportunity to never have to open up my fogger ever again. And it will constantly keep the water at the right level for me. You can
like the back of a toilet bowl, right?
On Amazon also. And they're really cool. Takes a 1/4-inch hole. I mean, a 1/4-inch tubing and a 5/8 hole. And you just stick it through the hole and plug your tubing into it. And now, whenever your water level gets too high, the float valve comes up and shuts it off.
Yeah, that's genius. Nate says in the chat, the rubber gasket on the container is life-changing. 100% recommend.
It really is.
Yep.
Another thing we were doing in the beginning is we were using those I was using shower drains to make my tops, like you showed in the beginning. And of course, I've kind of advanced from that too. And now I'm buying these bulkheads. What's nice about the bulkhead is it's got a threaded fitting in it. And I can take a PVC fitting that's threaded and I just screw that guy in there. And now I've got a tight fit for it. And then I can add my PVC pipe to it and run it up to my cage. The nice thing about this is now I can take this same unit and I can stick it on top of the cage. And so I can connect the two. And now I've got a solid connection between my cage and my fogger.
Yeah, and there's no fog escape. Which
we have no
from the original design, you're going to get a little.
We've sealed the box.
Yep.
At the end of the day, these systems are running me, under $100. And you have something that is just really, they're pretty bulletproof. We're not having all of the issues that we have with the cheap foggers or with the bucket fogger. We've kind of brought this up to a level where now it's, at as Bill was saying, a commercial level, but you're getting to build it yourself.
Yep. And like you're saying, with the cheaper foggers, they leak a lot. They don't hold nearly as much water. They'll hold maybe a gallon or two, so you're constantly changing, refilling. So it's nice to have the more industrial system.
Well, once you start having more than one chameleon or more than one cage, automation is the key to this whole program. So trying to stay on top of all of this with the tubing, with the float systems. Now, we also have misting systems. So a lot of us are running our Mist King, well, now you got another reservoir, right? Well, you don't have to do that with your fogger. Your fogger now becomes your reservoir for your Mist King. And all I've done is at the bottom of this unit, I've added another bulkhead and a valve. I always put a valve on everything in case I have any problems and shut the water off. But now I can hook this up to my Mist King, and I'm running everything off of this reservoir for my cage system. Same reservoir.
Wow. Yeah, that's nice. I love that. That's way better than the 2-bucket system I got going on right now.
So now you just hook your fogger up, your Mist King up, and everything is one single system. So let's build one.
Nice. And so do you sit that underneath the enclosure itself?
Say that again?
Do you sit that underneath the enclosure? And like how do you have that, you know, is it on the side or underneath?
It all fits underneath. Can you zoom in over here some? And here's your cage. And we got a cabinet here that we built. And this whole system will sit underneath.
Yep.
And it still allows you to have enough room for your 5-gallon bucket for your drainage. So now you're down to just your reservoir, your fogger, and a 5-gallon bucket underneath, and your Mist King motor.
So James, if you didn't have the sensor on there for the water to stop filling the reservoir, how often would you need to fill that reservoir up?
I'm finding with the 5-gallon unit, I can run this guy about 5 days. This is 5 gallons. It's the same as your bucket.
Okay.
So I'm able to run this for 5 days.
Okay. So it's pretty much the same, yeah.
Same
as the 5-gallon.
The one that we're going to build is going to be big, and it holds 27 gallons, and it will last me almost 2 weeks.
Okay. So that's great. Because you can go on vacation, let that run on a timer. You don't have to worry about it at that point. You're good.
Takes care of all of it. You got your lights on your timers. You got your fogging system, your misting systems. It's all self-contained. Generally, I only have to mess with this stuff every once in a great while.
Yeah, that's great.
Pretty much taken care of by automation. So I get to spend all that time building more cages and playing with my animals instead of changing water buckets.
Well, on that note, how about we start getting to building a bucket?
Okay, let's build a fogger.
Let's go.
Let's do one out of these, huh?
Okay. I'm gonna pull up a seat here, get myself comfy, and watch the master at work.
So we got a helper.
So whenever you're ready, James, you can begin.
I don't know if you can see him right there, but I brought a helper to help me.
Hey, there's your helper right there. You always need a helper. Nothing better than a Parsons.
So Gideon decided to stick along for the show, and for all of my friends that watch us all the time on the Chameleon Academy Live, I had to make sure that I had my ficus for Bill.
You see mine in the back there, in the back corner here?
Okay, so
we both had to have the ficus for Bill.
Right?
Yep.
So what I did is I kind of just laid everything out here on the table.
Okay.
And I've added all the other parts that I add to it too, just so that you can kind of see how I do one of these full systems. Okay, we've got a rubber gasket. We're going to use a 4-inch hole for that rubber gasket for the top. These are called hole saws. I don't know if you know what these are. But hole saws are going to be the big trick to the whole.
Sorry, what was that, James? My bad.
These are hole saws. And this is how you're going to make the holes inside of your plastic. Okay, and I've laid out each piece.
Do you have to have a certain...
Go ahead.
Do you have to have a certain bit for the plastic, James, or is it any old bit that you can get from Home Depot or a hardware store?
So I use the hole saws to cut all my holes. You can buy these at Home Depot. The trick to using these with plastic, though, is you don't drill them like you would a piece of wood. Instead, you run them in reverse.
Okay.
When you run them in reverse, it doesn't take that big bite because some of our plastic is just so thin that that you'll break it, even when you're doing your buckets.
Okay.
So I always use these hole saws and I run them in reverse. So let's do the first hole so we can see how that is for. So I'm going to use a 4.5 inch for my fan. I like using the House of Hydro fans. The reason I do that is because these things are bulletproof. I've bought a bunch of them off Amazon. They're super cheap. They just do not last. These guys will outlast the, well, not the fogger, but some of these systems I've had running for 5 years and done nothing with them. That's what I really enjoy about them. So let's do this first hole real quick. Okay, so first hole, from the original bucket fogger we do, I'm going to go ahead after this show and put together a parts list for everything that we're doing today. Okay,
all right,
so
thank you, my man.
These units, they run for a 5 gallon. It's $19. And for this, this is actually 17 gallons. And this one costs you $27. It's pretty cheap if you really look at it.
Oh, nice. It is.
So, and again, we have the lid. The lid comes with a nice rubber gasket all the way around it, which keeps all the water inside of it. The first thing I want to do is put a hole in this for my fan. So to receive my fan, I'm going to center it up in this bay and come out 3.5 inches. That 3.5 inches is half of my radius of my fan. Then that way it's sitting towards one side of the lid. The main thing you want to do too is make sure that your fan is at the opposite center and the opposite end of your outlet tube. The reason being is you want that fog to accumulate as much as possible before it gets sent out to go visit your reptiles. So we're going to take this guy.
Yeah, and that's one of the...
Say again?
Gets to a certain level, and then it kind of can, you'll see fog output, but it's just, for that first, few inches, it's just not as much fog.
Exactly. Well, and another trick to the foggers too is make sure your fan speed's on really low. The higher the fan speed, the more the air mixes with the fog, and it starts to dissipate in that respect too.
Okay. So do you have a little dial there to work the fan speed?
I do.
Okay.
All of the foggers, all of the fans come with a variable speed controller. And I like to keep it 1 or 2 notches above low. You can run it high, but you won't get the fog that you want to get out of it. Let's drill this hole.
Yep. Yeah, the people at home can experiment with it, but you'll notice, like James is saying, when you put the fan speed too high, the fan mixes with the fog, and you won't get as much fog coming out. Watching James put this together so quickly and look so professional.
Yay!
He makes it look so easy.
Here we go. Okay, so
nice.
I ran that drill bit in reverse. It
Okay.
heats it up a little bit, so you might have to peel off a little bit of the plastic after you're done. But what it does is it keeps
Yep.
this from grabbing and it'll keep it from breaking. Okay. So
Yep, which
first
I can say from experience happens.
I've ruined many things before. Then what I do is I just take this guy and set him right over my hole.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to poke the 4 holes that hold it in place.
Okay.
I try to
James
get
is
the first. I'm centering it over the
those
hole.
holes before he puts in the screws.
I'm centering it over the hole and holding it the right distance off the back for the first one. I'll pop that hole and I'll put the screw in it.
Nice. James, Steve says, hats off to the cameraman.
And the reason I put the first hole in and get it all lined up is because now I don't have to do anything.
Okay.
From this point on, it's going to be held in place for me, and I don't have to worry about lining it back up again. Now I can do the other 4.
And so that fan system that James is putting in place right now, that is from the House of Hydro. And the house and the controller come together. The screws also come in with that package. But obviously the tools that James are using, like the drill and the bits there, you're going to have to go buy those. For those of you that are watching from home and don't know what we're doing here. James, you listening to any good music while you've been building lately?
You know, I listen to TV while I'm working now. Is that weird?
There you go. I don't know. Any good shows you've been watching?
Sometimes. I like Forensic Files. I don't know why.
Oh, yeah.
But you don't
Those are
have to
good ones.
watch it to listen to it.
No, what about any good podcasts?
I do. There's this crazy guy that does all this chameleon stuff.
Yeah, I heard about him. He's wild.
He every time he puts something out new, I got to jump on it. Okay.
Yeah, no, and he I think he's gonna put something out new. Now I've been waiting.
Well, knowing him, the minute you don't expect it.
Isn't he going live later today?
I think he's going to be live at noon, and I think I'll probably go see that.
Awesome. We can go visit the Crazy Man live at noon. Talk chameleons.
Okay, now I'm going to poke the hole for the new grommet.
And running that in reverse again for all of you at home, just making sure. The reason why James is running that in reverse is so that the plastic doesn't catch on the bit and it doesn't crack the plastic.
Another perfect hole. And I'm taking my grommet. And now I have my rubber grommet inside of my lid so I can fill it up if I need to. These were...
And what size hole is that, James?
This one here is a 4-inch hole and a 4-inch grommet.
Okay.
And again, It's another product I bought off of Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was trying to figure out a lid, or I came up with a ton of different. At one point, I had used a painter's bucket so I could pour the water in the bucket, and I put a plunger in it. Well, this is just amazing. This little grommet, you pull it out, you stick it back in, it's sealed tight, and now I've got a solid seal on that guy. Next thing I'm going to do is come in here, and I'm going to go ahead and add my hole for my bulkhead. This is going to be how I release this is going to be my output for my fogger. And I'm going to use a 2-inch hole saw for that.
James, we got Two Turtle Tom saying that you need to build incubators next. I agree with him. I think you need to build chameleon incubators.
You know, you got the guys like Bill who are super smart when it comes to the animal's anatomy and so on and so forth.
Yep.
And then there's guys like me who are we're not school smart. You know, we messed around a lot in school and screwed off and became construction workers. And it's pretty neat to see the collaboration between the two different groups of people, the really smart guys and the guys who know how to build things.
Yep. Well, that's why you two work so well together.
He's one of my favorite people on the planet, Tyler.
He's the man. How long have you known Bill for now, James? I agree, Eliza. I feel like some of the smartest people get into trade.
Okay. These bulkheads are reverse thread, but they have this really awesome rubber gasket on it. So the other thing I wanted to make sure that you know, whenever you're putting a gasket into a watering situation, whether it be a tank, your faucet in your house, whatever, any reason, you always want that rubber grommet on the outside, not the inside.
Okay. Why would you not want it on the outside?
Water tries to get out past the rubber grommet makes the seal.
Okay.
I learned this from a water well guy when you're putting in water tanks. And I have done it in the past where I put the rubber gasket on the inside and it didn't hold. It's the same thing with the sink drain.
So you install that just like a sink drain. Is that
exactly
what you're saying?
It's that same principle, but like I said, we came up with these. I found these bulkheads online, and man, it just changed the whole perspective.
So
hold on,
James,
Bob.
huh?
I'm listening.
I was gonna say, so when you come up with a challenge, like there's a challenge in front of you, what is kind of your process for inspiration and design? Where do you start?
Well, first of all, I like to make sure that everything looks clean. You know, I don't know if you've been on Facebook and noticed how some people just got all of these wires and tubes and all over their cage. The lighting wires hang all over the place, the tubing, the electrical plugs. And I don't know why, Tyler, but it drives me freaking nuts. I don't want to see that stuff. I want it to look nice and clean and tidy. And so my inspiration is I usually take all the parts and kind of put them a little bit together and then try to find a way to make it look clean. Because I want a piece of furniture in my home. I don't just want wired mess with an animal inside of it trying to, you know what I mean? We make the inside of our cages so beautiful. Why can't the outsides be also? So what's really cool, like I said, is now that I've got the bulkhead in, I've got a solid fit to attach my PVC to. I don't have to worry about it pulling out of the fogger or, you know, those plastic tubes they give us on the cheaper unit models. They're always coming loose. This thing is solid. So let's see. We've got our drain. We've got our fan. We've got our inlet. We need to add 2 more holes. The reason I'm adding the second hole is for my float valve. Actually, I'm going to add 3 more holes. For the float valve, this is also a miniature bulkhead, and this receives 1/4-inch tubing. I'm going to put this in the bottom. The reason I'm doing that is now my bin has become my reservoir also for my Miss King. And these are like $1.25 on they all receive a 5/8 hole. I'm going to put both of these, or for the float valve, I want that guy up a little bit higher than I want my water level. So that way when I adjust it, I can
Okay.
put this down into the water.
Okay. Makes sense.
Rubber gasket again on the outside. It comes with a plastic gasket for the inside. Oops, I'm going
Okay.
wrong.
James, are you getting those from Home Depot as well, or are you buying
Also
these
Amazon.
offline?
Also
Okay.
Amazon. I have become, my favorite thing about Amazon is I can literally shop from my living room.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Huh?
It comes almost the same day. You know, and it comes almost the same day. Sometimes it does.
They get me stuff. You're right. It comes fast. Within a day or two, I have everything.
Yeah, no,
I
it's
need.
Yep. Yeah, and Turtle Tom was asking if you said that was running both the fog and misting systems, and it is.
It is.
It is running both.
Almost all of this stuff only has to be finger tight.
Yep.
I'm going to use the same thought process when I run my hole for my fogger. It's my not fogger. My line out for my transducer.
Okay. And Nate is saying that one thing that he messed up on with the float valve is making sure the adjustment screw for height isn't tight against the wall. Otherwise, you have to disconnect to adjust the water height for a valve.
Yeah, luckily these come with just a little screw. You can get 5 of these for $12. I mean, that's pretty reasonable.
Okay.
They have a little screw hole.
And Bill says there's no containing you. Huh? Sorry.
I can't see if I can see it. There's a little screw head in there that you can adjust the height of that valve, so it can be up or down, kind of like the float in your toilet. It's almost.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks just like back of the toilet.
Okay, so what are we about 20 minutes into making this? Right now? This thing's ready for water and a transducer.
Awesome. And just like that.
I mean, literally, that took us less than 20 minutes to make this.
I was going to say maybe 15 minutes.
So let's bring it back up here, and let's fill some of these up with water and see what they do.
Okay. Tom's saying, James, are you selling these yet?
I'm actually thinking about doing it. What we will do is put parts together, put a price list together. Here's the thing. I know a lot of people don't know how to use tools. Some of these drill bits are pretty expensive. The 4-inch drill bit it's about $60. You can cut it out with your hand, but it just won't make the tight seal. So those of you that have a real hard time with tools and so on and so forth, we're going to try to make this as everything that Bill and I do. We're not in this to get rich. We're in this to help the community. I love what I'm doing. I love the people that we work with. We're just trying to put a couple of bucks in our pocket to make it worth our time. The majority of what we spend money on is just to help the community. We're not getting rich off this. I'm not driving a Dino Ferrari, my guys. I'm live on a ranch. I'm a little carpenter and working out of my garage, but we're having so much fun doing this, and I love teaching people.
Well, you're pumping out some very innovative designs, that's for sure, my man.
It's all I did was take all of my construction. I'm 40 years in construction. Superintendent, I built prisons, hospitals, custom homes, and I've taken all of that thought process and put it into what we're doing with these cages. And so we're doing stuff that, cage builders build cages. We're actually home builders that are building cages. So we're taking a different aspect to it. Things like these foggers, they're teaching people how to do it. I'm not doing this. I'm doing this because I want you to do it yourself. But if you can't do it, I'll try to help you. Let's do this.
Yeah, no, I know for me and someone that was just starting out with chameleons, I was looking at you and Bill's tutorials constantly trying to figure out the best way to build an enclosure that has all the parameters that you need. And so it's just awesome to see kind of the evolution from where you guys started with the 5-gallon bucket to now like this streamlined Miss King fogging all-in-one system. It's pretty cool. There we go. Water time.
Got a little water in there.
Let's go.
This one's going to be the 3
Are we going to be
head.
able to test this out? Amazing.
This will be the 3 head.
And so, James, at your house, do you have these set up to a timer so they just kick on and kick off whenever you need them to?
I do.
Okay.
In fact, every system I have now is fully automated.
Mm-hmm.
And as you go online and look at my Instagram page, you'll see all the stuff I'm doing. And then we have the DIY guys for people that want to learn how to do stuff. I haven't been doing a lot on DIY guys, but we're starting to pick back up on it again.
Yep.
You know, we came up with a drainage tray and a stand system. And that really ate up a bunch of time.
Yep.
Learning how to do it. I'm not a businessman. I'm a carpenter.
Yeah.
And so,
Yep. Oh yeah.
I had to learn a few things, and we had to hunt for products, and I wanted to make sure that we did something that was better than you could buy commercially.
Mm-hmm.
All our stuff is homemade. I'm literally in here with saws and drills and sanders. This is not some cookie cutter thing that you can buy from China. We're actually building this stuff ourselves. So here's the fogger. Let's go ahead and give it a run.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Okay.
Yep.
Can we see the fog?
Oh wow. Oh yeah. A lot of fog.
Now this is,
and that's a big difference from the
you
one
can
head.
See how much that guy's putting out.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now let's say you wanted to run this to several different cages. Well,
yep.
With the 3 head, this 5-gallon fogger, and 1-inch tubing, you can probably do a small baker's rack. Okay.
Okay.
And this is just to give you an idea. Let's say this comes out the side of your baker's rack, grows up to the top, and this is your first row of cages. Okay? And you're going to add a T to it, come up and do a 90, and you're going to add another one for the next row of cages. Okay?
Yep.
So let's just do that real quick.
Oh yeah. And it's still like an equal amount of fog on both
Isn't
bottom and top there.
Isn't it crazy?
Because with the cheaper Amazon fogger, you don't get that. You can see the fog taper off as you get further away from the fogger, where that's not like that.
So the big expense in this whole system is doing is using House of Hydro. Okay? And I can't rave about their products enough. I have foggers, Tyler, that have been running for 5 years straight, every single night, and had 0 failures. Okay, I've had I have probably 25 foggers in my house right now. For each cage, I've made it so that my cages I can just unplug it and move it away from the wall, so everything is fully self-contained. I've made each individual keg has its own Miss King, its own fogger, its own dump bucket. And I did that because I wanted to be able to move things around. I spent money on it. I could have hooked a bunch of stuff all together, but then I wouldn't have that luxury of being able to move a cage. Out of all of those cages, and I've bought a lot of foggers. I'll show you a pile of those plastic ones you can get from Amazon. The cheap ones you get off of Amazon. I got a pile of them sitting over there on a shelf that have failed. I have ones. These I literally have been running for 8 years and 0 issues. They give you extra the plates that allow for the vibration to create the fog. I haven't had to use them. I don't even know why they give them to me.
Same.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I don't even know where they are. I gotta find those things, but I have not had
I got a
replacement at
drawer
all.
full of them. I've never even taken them out of the box. You wipe off the head every once in a while,
Yep.
and you're good to
Yep.
go. Now, one thing that
Yep.
I remember when you and Bill were talking, that you guys had a question about
Mhm.
cleaning your fogger. So
Yep.
my turn. Okay. Instead of being
Yep.
responsible, I'm going to tell you what I deal with. Because my foggers are dark
Okay.
and kept in the dark, I don't clean them.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't
You
get the
need to
filled
clean
up.
them, the sludge and all this stuff that everyone keeps talking about,
Yeah.
because you got a clear bin and it's out in the sun. What you're getting is algae
Yep.
buildup. I don't have any sludge or any kind of issues with any kind of grime or anything else. Literally, I've taken ones apart that have been running for 3 years and gone to clean them inside out, and they're 100% clean. So it's
Yeah.
really
There's
about
that like
keeping the
slime or
water
like mold. Yeah.
isolated in the dark and keeping the system
Yep.
sealed. And if you can do those two
Yep.
things, the cleaning part doesn't become a problem. It really doesn't.
And you're using distilled water, right?
I use RO system, so as you
Yep.
notice,
Okay.
I add that little 1/4-inch tube to the bottom of mine. You know, I have 30 cages
Yep.
in the house, so
hmm
I run 1/4-inch PVC black tubing.
Yep.
I
Yep.
run it along the baseboard in my house, and then
hmm
it runs to each cage and goes to each one of these reservoirs. Now, I have put in
Yep.
shut-off valves on everything in case there's any issues. Because if you have a problem, you
Okay.
want to be able to turn that water off, right? So
Yep.
I have shut-off valves for each one, but I have the RO
Okay.
system outside of my man cave,
Yep.
bolted to the wall, and it runs right up to my
Mhm.
exterior spigot, which I put a splitter on so that I can still use
Yep.
the water, and it runs to my RO system. And then I ran a 1/4-inch tube into the house. I just drilled a little tiny 1/4-inch hole in the side of my house, ran the tube
Yep.
inside, and I teed off that from everywhere. And literally, it goes to
Yeah, that's
every
brilliant.
single reservoir. I don't fill the water up. The only thing I have to do is change
Yeah.
it.
See
And you can
that
do
like
that in your
as a.
home too, because here's the funny
Yep.
thing: if you run a 1/4-inch hole through your wall, they do it with your satellite dishes all the time. So a
Yeah.
1/4-inch hole through the wall right next to your spigot, you can run the 1/4-inch
Mhm.
tubing right to your reservoir. You're no longer filling anything up with water. Now, minded, you could have a rental and you don't want to do something like that. So of course, the rubber gasket's going to give you a lot of leeway with that. And you can look at how that fog comes out of that rubber gasket.
Yeah, see, that's nice. If you look at mine, you can kind of see like where the fog will come out on the sides of the Home Depot bucket, or where I don't have things flush, and
You
you're just
notice
losing
there's
out on that much
zero.
more
Now, here's one other
closure.
thing I want to tell you about these systems. The 5-gallon and the 1-inch
Mhm.
tubing is fine up to about 3 head. Once you go above that, you're
Okay.
going to want to jump your pipe size up and your water size up. And the reason being is,
Okay.
if I put a 5-head fogger in here right now, and I tried to run it out of this 1-inch tubing, half of my fog would
hmm
come back out of the fan. It's too much.
Okay.
Does that make
Good to
sense?
know.
So you always want to
Yep.
run 3-head or less with 1-inch pipe. From this size pipe, you're going to want to go for a 5-head. You're going to want to go up
Mhm.
to a 1.5-inch pipe. And if you want more volume, then you want to add even
Mhm.
bigger pipe. And 2-inch pipe is
Okay.
very good size for running. You can run 10 cages with a 5-head
Wow.
fogger and 2-inch line and have no problems whatsoever. I think Marcia ended up using 3-inch line on hers, and she has no
Okay.
issues either. So
And
just
how
keep
many
that in
enclosures is
mind.
she running
A
off that?
single head up to 3 head, you can run 1-inch
Mhm.
PVC pipe. Anything after that, you're
Okay.
going to want to bump your size up 1.5 inches.
Okay. Awesome. And Nate says gravity-fed ATO foggers is life-changing. Highly recommend. James speaks the truth.
So, well, we've been doing it for a long time. Here's the thing.
Yep.
Tyler, like I've offered to you and everybody else since I've been starting doing this stuff, you guys have questions about how to build things, we give that information away for free. We're doing this to be
Yep.
part of the community. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about the the husbandry and the chameleons that we love so much. So
Exactly.
we're putting some
Exactly.
products out, and to be fair, the cost of shipping and the cost of materials is retarded. I'm not allowed to use that word. Sorry. Ridiculous.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, we're not. This is not. We're not a company. We're a community, and that's what's most important.
I agree 100% with you, James. And we're coming up on an hour and a half. I can't believe it's already been an hour and a half.
Great.
But just to respect your time and our viewers, where would our viewers or people that are watching this later on be able to find the DIY Chameleon Guys tutorials or be able to reach out to you?
So you can get me anytime on Facebook. I have 2 Facebook pages. One just my personal page, and then I have a Crosscuts Custom Cages page.
Okay.
You can also hit us up on Instagram. I don't do much messaging there, but I will do it. You can come to our Chameleon Academy Live. I've been part of the Chameleon Academy Live for almost 7 years now. It's changed names a few times, but I'm always there. I have not missed an episode since Bill started it. And that's where you can find us. I'm always in Messenger and Facebook. I may not get back to you right away because I do have a life and a side job, but I always get back to you. So we have other products too. Look at Bill Strand, Dragon Strands. We'll
Dragon
have
Strand.
bunch of stuff on there. It's all to help the community to be better. Don't forget our live shows every Tuesday and Saturday. You can always reach out there, and then if you can't get information there, we can direct you where to go.
Yep. James is very responsive in the chat, so you can always get a hold of him there for sure.
Yeah, I'm a goofball.
Yep. No, you are, my man. I appreciate you. Hey, that's why we love you. That's why we love you. My man, I appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you, everybody who came, and I'll see you all later.
Thanks.
Bye, guys.